Hi guys, welcome back to the Ringer 57 YouTube channel. As a lot of you may know, I went on a hiatus from my phone. Clearly, my messages just exploded. So, I was working on a bike, it was having issues, I was getting frustrated because my phone wouldn't shut up, so my apologies to all y'all, but I shut my phone off. Well, actually, I shut off Messenger, specifically. I blocked all notifications from Messenger and just put the app into sleep mode because it would not shut up. So, Drew's bike. We put it on the dyno the other day. We ripped off a real quick slick 393 on the first power pull. I'd done some just driving with the laptop on my lap for a while, working through it, getting the maps right. That was the first power pull with the boost controller turned up. I had made some pulls at 9, 13, 16, and then I finally turned it to 20 pounds and was confident it was going to hold true on the fueling so I could watch the dash if I needed to for wideband. And I made a power pull, 390 and 226 foot-pounds of torque, I do believe. So, it had, and I hadn't idled it down that entire time. I'd left the high idle cam on because I was letting it come down onto the high idle cam and cruise on the dyno. When I finally kicked it off the high idle cam, it had a miss, a dead miss, anywhere below 1700 RPM. Well, I hadn't been idling it at 1700. I'd been idling it at like 2200 with the high cam, so it wouldn't judder while it was idling away on the dyno while I was clicking on shit. So, or making tune changes. So, went ahead, ran a compression test, it came back good. Pulled the plug, cylinder 3 was wet. Again, same cylinder. Weird. But the tick was gone. So I know that was in the head. And the oil consumption had gone way down, but it didn't go away. So I'm not entirely sure that the piston didn't get damaged by the oil that was getting sucked in that cylinder because there was raw liquid oil running out of that cylinder. Very good possibility. It's got crack ring land or something. It's almost what I'm leaning towards, but I don't know. I haven't pulled the motor apart. Don't plan to until after this. But I had a crate motor sitting in the corner. It wasn't a crate motor. It was one of my motors. It's the same rods, same transmission, same studs. The only differences between that motor and my motor. My motor has 70-pound carpenter springs, same as his. So, what is it? Oh, the dual intake cams. So, his dual intake cams set at 110, 110. His had stock cams. Mine had 10.5 to 1 pistons in it. His had 9 to 1s. So, we got more compression, more thump behind it. So, that same boost is going to make way more power. I'm going to have to see what it makes here in a little bit. Right now, I got to go grab a slave support because I knew this was going to happen. I freaking knew it, and I didn't think about it because I was frustrated with other things. Every time you put all XHDs in, thing's got a man's clutch in it. So it's hand clutch, 400 horsepower. It's going to need a man's clutch. So I put all XHDs in it. I just got to go grab a slave support, put on it. I'll hunt one down tomorrow and get it here ASAP somehow. I got to run and get vape juice anyway. And then I'll come back. We'll get it ironed out on the dyno for all the little changes that are going to happen because it is going to be different with more compression, different cams, all that. I'll probably pull a little more timing out of it just because, especially on the gasoline side of things. Normally, I wouldn't mind doing this compression on an intercooled setup, but this compression is a little stout for non-intercooled gasoline. Fortunately, he's on E85 flex fuel. So we're on E85 right now. I'm going to go ahead and top off the E85, check the oil, get a slave support on there, and we will continue on the dyno. I'll just retouch everything, get it all ironed out nice and happy so it cruises beautifully. I'm going to see if Motorhead will come over and help me out because that'd be phenomenal, having a second laptop. Then we'll switch over, tune out gasoline, and this baby can go home. Quick shifter's working. Everything else is working. Rolling anti-lag, two-step, all of it, except it had that miss. So we got that dealt with. Gypsy was over here, and if you don't know who that is, that's Chad Nichols' bike. Chad Nichols pulled the motor out. We put the valve springs in it. Well, he put the valve springs in it. You saw that. And he got that back together today. We rolled it up on the dyno, made a quick snap. Whew, she's a spicy girl. She's got some power. That bike, if he hits it with everything he's got, it's going to do a backflip. He also cut the forks. Scotty did that. If you need forks cut, hit up Scotty Carmack. He's also got a set of Gen 2 fork cores here that he is going to cut and have in stock so he can do mail and exchange. Yeah, that's what I've got done. That's where we're at. I've been working at the gas station every freaking night. Tonight's my first night off. That's chaos. That's some freaking chaos. Friday nights are hell. But I'm going to go ahead and head home and see if I can't hunt down a slave support again. I hunted one down. Brian Martin had it last time. I don't think he's got another one, so kind of at a loss on what I'm going to do there. God, I wish I had one. I might have a billet sprocket cover I can go pick up in Jasper. Buy one off Randy. That's a thought. I don't know. I'll brainstorm it. And then we will do a teardown video at some point here in the future on that motor. And see what was the bane of my damn existence. We will go through, I'll do a time-lapse teardown, and we will sit down with micrometers and everything and go through every freaking thing. And we will figure it out. And Motorhead just messaged me and said, the big question is, what the fuck was wrong with that motor? Good question! We'll answer that in that video. Later, guys.